If you pack your suitcase and set off to China, the hotbed of opportunity, I would advise you to pack this one word with you: face. What is face? To put it simply, face is to look good in public. If you are wealthy, you have face. If you are intelligent, you have face. If you are attractive, you have face. If you have good connections, you have face. In Chinese business culture, a person's reputation and social standing rest on saving face. If you make people looking bad in the public or cause embarrassment, even unintentionally, it can be fatal for business negotiations. Face, like money, can be earned, lost, given, or taken away. Face giving is very important. It is activities through flattery, a show of respect, or compromise. As favor, it is expected to be returned, although not in a hurry. Here is an example of face giving. When I was in China, I worked for an American company. The director of company's Asian Pacific division, Mr. John Kaplan, is an American. He has been living in China for a long time. He speaks Mandarin very well and is quite knowledgeable about Chinese culture. He has a brother who is an engineer. John wanted to get his brother a job as a service manager in company's China branch. He asked Peter, the general manager of China branch, if he would hire his brother. Although Peter didn't like the idea of have John's brother work in the office and didn't think he was qualified, he had no choice but to say yes. By giving face, Peter earned a face. He had something to ask for as a return of a favor. Later on, he asked John to sponsor his son to attend a university in the States. Face and connections. Face is inseparable from connection. Connection is the social network. If you have connections, you have the face, and you will have been giving face, getting uphand in conducting business. Usually, the person with the best connection wins. There's another story of how GM won the bid over Ford, have a joint venture with Chinese car maker in 1997. The person behind the GM's victory was Shirley Yang. Shirley was born in Shanghai and spoke fluent Mandarin. Her father was a war hero. Her stepfather had served as China's ambassador to the United States, the United Kingdom, and France. Mrs. Yang brought with her great connection. Even though Ford had been one step ahead in the initial bidding phase, Mrs. Yang was able to pass the final victory to GM. By 1997, 100,000 mid-sized Buick Regals have been produced at the new billion-dollar assembly plant in Shanghai. Face and hierarchical social status. In business dealings, paying attention to hierarchical social status means saving face. Confucius culture dominated China for more than 2,000 years. It taught hierarchical social status. The tradition of obedience to one's superiors still remains strong. There's an example when a foreign company did not pay attention to the social status. The company sent a relatively young and low-level sales representative to a high-level negotiations. The Chinese executive remarked, "Oh, you are about my son's age." He felt insulted and lost face. The deal died even before it began. Face and intermediary. Intermediary is a go-between person and often settle difference without causing either party to lose face on the negotiation table. Initially, you need to have an intermediary to pass you around to his trusted business partner. Trust must be transmitted by connection. These connections can be hometown, family, school, or previous business time. The links are based on personal experience. Even after initial meeting takes place, intermediary is still necessary. During negotiation, rather than just say no outright, which loses face, Chinese business people are more likely to change the subject, turn silent, ask other questions, or say something like, seems not wrong, seems fairly alright, appears fairly possible. That sounds positive, right? No, it has subtle negative implications. Only a native Chinese speaker can read and explain the subtlety in the moods, intonations, facial expressions, and the body language of Chinese negotiators. The Taoism. I have talked about face, connection, hierarchical social status, and intermediary. These are very important to know when you are doing business in China. But why Chinese people act like that? There's a Chinese culture thread behind this thing. That is Taoism, Chinese people's mentality. Taoism's fundamental notions involve the relationship of yin and yang. Yin is passive force, yang is active force. These two forces oppose and complement one another simultaneously. That they cannot be separated, but must be considered as a whole. The key is to find the Tao, the way, the middle ground, the compromise, and harmony. The moral value expresses itself in the Chinese business communication style. The best compromise are reached only through the back and forth of haggling. The Tao is hard to find. The process cannot be cut short. Both parties have face to say. The back and forth haggling is left for intermediary. Business communication practices are different in every country. Only when you understand the cultural background behind the practice, then you can develop a thriving, mutually profitable, and satisfying business relationships.